Okay.
Good. All right. So good morning, everybody. I think we start off with just introductions.
That got it is yours.
All right. And so this is in here, but let's start off with introductions. I'm Mark Rivers. Am I right?
Catherine Hilton.
Howard Kinder.
Mary David.
And online is Eric Stocker and Art Keen, which means we have a quorum. Tom Sieber and Frank McGinn is also online. And I think that's everybody so far. If anybody else pops in, we'll let them know. We'll let you know.
Was there another person next to Mary?
Yes, that's John Kinder.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for that. All right, so the first order of business is to review the minutes of the meeting. I emailed out Thursday or so. This is the minutes, from the April 15th meeting. Has everybody has a chance to look at them?
Good to me.
Yeah.
Minutes.
Yeah, they were okay. I think they were fine.
Okay. So if we have a motion to accept the minutes, well, I'll give everybody another chance, another minute to read it. Howard still reading.
No, I read it online before. I was just double checking me.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Move to accept the minutes.
Second.
we have a vote. Catherine,
Yes.
Yes,
Howard, Mark, yes. And Mary, yes. Eric
Yes,
and Art.
Yes,
Good. Okay, the second item on today's agenda is just talking about the dam inspections. Morris did the 2023 or this year's inspection already, did it on May 12th, a couple weeks ago. Howard, while you were there, did he notice anything unusual or?
only that part in front of the dam there. Over the years of marking into the concrete there.
So what Howard's saying is that in addition, the problems that we've had at the dam for the past years are still there. And I think they need to be fixed. And we've documented that quite a bit. But he also pointed out the ice damage to the cement that's occurred over the years. And he wrote up a nice little article about the kind of damage that ice causes to the cement on the dams, and which is why he's recommending that we continue with the 2-foot drawdown. Short of that, there was really nothing new. Does anyone have any questions?
So he'll send the final report.
He will send a final report, hopefully soon, to Becky, and Becky will then distribute it, sends it off. Well, he sends it to Becky plus the Office of Dam Safety. So the dam's basically in good shape. It just needs routine maintenance. Is really what it comes down to. And we've documented that stuff before. But if anyone's got any questions on that, let me know right now. Or let us know. Okay, good. Becky right now is working on the request for proposal for a new engineering dam company. We reviewed the scope of work at the last meeting, and then I sent that off to Becky to put in the terms, the standard terms and conditions that is required for town contracts. Morris provided the names of 6 reputable dam engineers that he's worked with, or engineering companies that do good work, and I've contacted all of them. And I've given that list to Becky with contact and email information. But I got an email from Becky yesterday that said she should have the the request for proposal finished within a day or two, so like Monday, Tuesday. And then we'll get that off and get that process going. One of the first things on that scope of work, the list of things to do for the dam engineers that we select is to start working on the notice of intent for the drawdown. So that's kind of the biggest priority right now. The second thing is to come up with a scope of work for the dam repairs, so that can be sent out to companies to do that to do that repair work probably in FY24. Probably won't be this year, but it's possible. So that's where we are with the dam and the drawdown. It's notice of intent. Is there any questions on that?
The only question I have is we also have to do, I guess I'll talk to Becky. We also should do the what's the word? Access to the dam so we can actually work on it. We can't technically work on it right now. I mean, we can't get to it. A company who's doing the work can't get to it.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Right.
point.
Oh yeah. So my guess is, Mark, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea for you to talk to Becky about that too, because I mean, we have to have that access, guaranteed so that we can, before we start signing contracts for somebody to come in there with heavy equipment to do work in there, or any equipment, doesn't it be heavy or not?
That's true, but is that a Becky thing or is that a select board thing?
I think Becky would do I think Becky would do it. I mean, I don't know. Well, that's a good question, I suppose.
Or is it a Donna McNichol thing?
That may, or that may be Donna, who lives at the lake, so she might have to recuse herself and all that. Everything's a legal nightmare, it seems to me these days. So let me talk to Becky about putting on a future select board agenda, and we'll see what we can figure out from there. I guess is the way to go. But whatever happens, that has to happen. It should happen if we can get it to happen. Otherwise, I don't know what we do. I don't know what we do if we don't have access to the dam. I don't know how we're gonna fix it. How are we gonna work on it?
Why is it so faint?
Yeah.
I can hardly hear Mark. I mean, hardly hear Eric.
No idea. We put the volume up. It seems to be coming out of your computer. I'll put your volume up, see if that helps. So the owl seems to be looking at, focusing on the right person, but it doesn't seem to be talking. Maybe that's because I have my computer muted. But anyway.
Right.
Anyway. Okay, so did everybody?
That's better.
That's better. Okay, good. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
All right. So, Eric, you're going to follow up with Becky on that.
Yes, and I don't think it would be a bad idea for you to do that too. I mean, I'll mention that we should put it on a select board agenda, but somehow we have to figure out how to do it, either with Donna, Becky, whatever. I'm not sure the select board is anybody really qualified to do any. I don't know how that works.
Yep.
I've never negotiated it right away, I can tell you that. And I don't want to start now.
Any questions? Any other questions about the dam? Okay, good. Next item on the agenda is the FERCog watershed plan. And FERCog has finished the draft. They sent it off to Concom and to LRAC. So we all had a chance to review them. I sent them the LRAC comments, and I believe Miriam sent them the Concom comments, and so they've got all those. It's supposed to be open for public review, and I'm not sure how we would get it, but the next draft of it is supposed to be this week sometime. But more important, it's on the select board agenda to review the water-based plan and on the June 6th select board agenda. So that's going to be a good one for everyone to participate in. But basically the plan I thought was well written. It incorporated a lot of historical studies. These stormwater management studies, there was a study about how the cove got filled in. It talked about the upstream issues with Fisk Brook and Fisk Pond. It's a pretty good start. And if and once it's done, it'll be the basis that will be used to apply for grant money. And they listed a couple of a variety of sources of funding that we can apply for. It's really a good start to getting the watershed back in shape. Was there any comments or questions from anybody on that?
No, I think it was a good start too. I read it and thought it was good.
Report looked good. The only thing that it brought back up for me that I put out is that every time somebody says Lake Wyola Association, the assumption is when they send out emails that it goes to everybody around the lake. And it doesn't. It goes to those who are members, which is less than half the people.
Yeah.
And I've asked for a while about, is there a way to get a list of everybody or create a list so when somebody wants to send everything out, everybody gets it. So if they send something out, half the people that live around the lake don't get the information. And there's a lot of talk about education in the plan and how they're going to do that. Nobody has a list that says, here's the current residents, let's send it to everybody.
This is a problem. It's been a problem for a while.
Yes.
I think that the sort of incorrectly so, but the current philosophy is we put it on a website and it's everybody's responsibility to go look at the website.
It seems like a little legwork might be really useful. Go around and talk to people and get their emails and ask them to join an email list specifically for matters of interest around the lake. And if they join, they're interested. And if they don't, then they don't get an opinion. But somebody's going to have to actually go out and do that.
Any volunteers?
Could that be done by mail, snail mail, the old style mail? Yes, could it be done not necessarily in person? I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Oh, it certainly could be. I mean, the town has a list of residents by road. And sort of know the roads around the lake.
Not everybody gets their mail at the lake, though, so it would have to go to some people's permanent residence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a tax, their tax bills.
Right, yeah, it's available.
So
It's
somebody, why can't somebody put it together?
That's possible.
And mail, mails are good, and mail them out at least one letter that says, please send us your email because we're creating the list. Then those that don't respond, maybe you could go knock on doors.
Does anyone have a sense? How we get these town emails on? Does anyone have a sense of how many people get those?
That's a good question. How many get the emergency alerts? I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
it's in the neighborhood of, well, the townwide things are like 850. Those are usually made, and I would think around the lake, it must be around 100.
Houses?
Yeah.
I think somebody said there's 400. If you count it around the lake, what they consider around the lake, it's like 400 residents.
Half the town?
No, there's 16,000 residents. In the
Oh,
town.
residents, not residences.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No, there's like 400 houses around the lake.
It seems like a lot, but and in any case, in any case, it could be done.
I'm open for ideas on how to proceed. I really don't know what to do here. I think it's a legitimate problem and it's a concern. Anybody online have any recommendations?
I think maybe one of the first questions is, if we're gonna send out a mailing, can we send it out from our line item? Would we have enough for a few hundred? We probably do have enough in our budget to do that. And we'd have to assemble the addresses, which is not difficult. I can do that part.
Yeah.
And then we could just organize, we could have something printed up, organize a little work party to stamp them and send them out.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
possible.
That sounds like a good plan.
Got the town bulk mail set up, so we can get that, so we'll get a slightly better rate.
And so you're saying that you would do a hard copy mailing to residents around the lake, or to the mailing addresses of the people around the lake?
Yes,
I would support that idea. Someone was going to have a question, I think. Was
No.
it Tom?
Yeah, I was going to say, we've tried to develop a master email list for people living in the watershed. And, mixed results. We have some people on the list who aren't members, but there are people who don't want to share their email addresses. There are people who maybe don't have email. So I like the idea of coming up with a master list so we can reach everybody in the watershed. I'd be willing to help address and stamp. But I don't get any mail up at the lake. I don't have a mailbox. I don't know how many people are like me. So, I mean, I think if when Becky sends out the emergency stuff, it's by phone and text, right? That's probably the most reliable way to reach everybody. And she's got a phone number for everybody.
We're offline. They can hear. You guys can't hear us right now, correct?
I can hear you.
Oh, you can.
oh,
Okay, so generator just came on and I thought the TV got booted, but.
it says no signal. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so something's
So
changed.
one of these is working.
All right, so we can look into the idea of a hard copy mailing and maybe an email, an email thing also. Because that has no cost. Tom, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just missed I don't know what communication you're talking about. Like, what is the message you're sending?
There is a FERCog developed a water-based plan, watershed-based plan. And so they're going to open it up for public comments before it gets finished. It's also going to be discussed at the select board meeting on June 6th. And so the question was, we originally were thinking about mailing out to LWAC members, and Mary raised the issue that many people around the lake are not on that email list. And so the question was, how do we let people know that such a document is available for their review?
And also, we're trying to get them to be available for communication.
Yeah, my question is, why isn't this of interest to everyone in the town? Why just people who are in the watershed?
Don't know.
And how do you really divide? Like, wouldn't there be people near the edges who might say, I'm in the lake area, I'm not in the lake area? Like Mary pointed out, it's not a hard science to count who's in the lake area. Like, why not just send every resident the information? Wouldn't it interest everybody? I'm just curious why it wouldn't be a town matter and not just part of the town.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Well, certainly everybody who gets the email communications from the town, and we could be.
We could put out a town announce. We could put it on the website. But the people who are directly concerned, not indirectly concerned, but directly concerned would be the people in the watershed, especially around the lake, who have communication issues. And I think that's where we should focus, but maybe not do the whole thing. And the
I
idea
just
of
don't know
sending,
what.
the
direct
idea of
email-
sending out an 850 person mailing does not seem really practical for us.
Well, 400 seems large too, and directly and indirectly are very subjective, I think.
I would say the people who live in the actual watershed would be the ones directly affected.
I think that's debatable who actually lives there, though, is all I'm saying, and it's a town matter, it seems ultimately.
Well, and I said, we'll send it out on town announce.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm saying. I think hitting everyone in town seems the most,
Right, town announce is kind of pretty much hit or miss because not everybody signs up for it, although I continually beg people to get on it. And we'll put it on the website. We could possibly put up a sign or two at the various bulletin boards.
that sounds like a good idea
But
too.
there's not really, I don't see a practical way that we can hit every single household in town.
What about on the town bulletin? It's published and sent to everyone. Can they just, if you are interested in, letting them know that it's there, and then from there, give them, log onto the town website and sign your.
The thing about the bulletin is that there's only 3 a year, and the lead time for it is very long.
Yeah.
So anything that's of short-term interest, that doesn't work. So that's why the Board of Health always puts in, go to our website to find out stuff, because anything we tell you here is going to be outdated by the time you get it.
But even though it's outdated, they would be able to know that it has been there for a while and you can
Right.
access.
Right, yeah, and that's so that's sort of the thrust of our messages now.
Okay.
What's happening up there?
Yeah, got it.
Can we still be heard out there in the world?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Is there something weird happening on the
Yeah.
screen?
So I'm not gonna worry about that. Everybody can see.
Yeah, we don't know any of that.
All right,
You're lucky.
so good. I think we sort of have a plan, and I'll formalize it in the minutes, and we'll see what FERCog also does, because they have thing. We'll see what's available. All right, so what else is there on that? Okay, any questions, any more discussion on the FERCog watershed-based plan? Good, thank you. All right, so the next item on the agenda is the boating safety sign. Catherine picked it up last week, and I put it up yesterday.
Thank you.
I did a terrible job of putting it up. It needs to be put up again. And well, the problem was I post hole digger and I started digging a hole and the water fills the hole. So you can't get the dirt out anymore. So I'm only down about 1.5 feet.
So maybe a metal stake rather than a.
Yeah, I think it has to be something that gets hammered in.
Yeah,
Anyone have a hammer that does that kind of thing, or no? Is this
fire department, I think does.
I think if I
But
Why don't-
Walter were using it when they put the one, the culvert,
okay.
I almost killed himself.
Okay.
Maybe you need professional help, Mark. Maybe we could get the highway department or somebody from the
Yeah.
fire department. to do
Yeah,
it for
highway
us.
department's got him.
Okay.
It might have been the,
So should I contact the highway department? And it's how's that? What's the process for that?
You could email Tim at highway, or you could, I think the number is 259-1215.
That's correct. That's the correct number.
59.
1215.
Yeah, my guess is they could bring a backhoe down there and dig a hole as deep as you want it.
Oh my God, don't listen, Mary, don't listen to this.
Yeah, that's true, right?
What was it? The number again? 259.
1215.
1215. Okay, great. That's Tim. Okay. I saw, I'll see if I can get some help, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was,
Is anybody thinking about putting those other signs that have rotted off and fell on the ground or clean your boat and all that other stuff?
I haven't been thinking about it.
You know, they have the pull-off area where they have
Right,
the sign
Sign rotted away. Face.
long ago.
at ground level and just laying there.
Um, maybe when I talk to Tim, I can see if we can get some help there. Tom, you have a question?
Thanks. Yeah, I wanted to express a concern because I know the Conservation Commission once asked the Highway Department to do something, and there was an issue that they didn't go through the select board first. And I don't know if it's a question of how much work or anything like that, but just wanted to offer it as a possible warning that you might need approval.
And,
from the Highway
we have
Department. I could be
permission.
wrong. I don't know why that happened back in the day, but whether you would need approval for the Highway Department to even hammer in.
We
something.
have permission from Concom.
Oh, awesome.
for the sign.
Okay, thank you.
Any other comments on?
Yeah, the signs that Howie mentions, are they owned by the state or are they owned by the town? I know the signs you're talking about. I think they might be state signs.
I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
I think it might even have been the LWAC that put them up to start with.
Oh, okay, all right, I'm just wrong then.
I think we did put them on about 20 years ago when we were
Yeah.
talking about washing boats.
Yeah, and they had.
Yeah.
bunch there. I don't know. We weren't near water.
But that's far enough away from the lakefront, I think, not to be a Concom issue.
Yeah,
Out for where that pull off is.
yeah, well, that's,
Isn't that right, Mary?
it's more
You know
than
what you mean?
halfway.
I think so. I don't think it. And I can go look at it.
Yeah, because it's not too far after the entrance to get down there.
Yeah.
Left-hand side.
Tom, you have another question?
Yeah, I don't know if I asked my last question right. Does LWAC have the authority to ask the Highway Department to do things without going through the select board? Such as installing a sign?
I don't think it really matters. It's really the highway department's call on whether if
But that
they-
came up in the past when somebody requested the Highway Department do something, and then the answer was that department or committee was supposed to go through the select board before asking the Highway Department to do things. Because the select board has the authority over the Highway Department.
Well, I think you could. I think
I'm
technically
offering it as a
speaking,
concern. I don't want
Yeah.
to process wrong, and it might be a case that the select board actually has to approve that the Highway Department would do even a simple matter like hammering in that sign.
I don't think so. I think that the highway department,
Remember when
technically
they moved
speaking,
rocks there, like in the past, and the issue was,
yeah,
board never
I
asked them to
remember
do
that one, yeah.
And the issue was the select board needs to tell the Highway Department what to do and nobody else. How I understood it. So I
In
just
my
offer that-
understanding,
that it's a small detail, but I just wanted to say it might be wise to make sure.
well,
that-
we have a select board member right here who now is informed of this. It's been my experience that the highway department is quite independent, and occasionally I have even asked them for advice about things and they've just turned around and done them.
Okay, I'm referring to a meeting of November 17th, I believe, of 2021. Donna Nickel was there, and she made it very clear that the select board as a whole would need to ask the highway department to do something like that.
I don't think something like that. I think something like, I think you're speaking of the rocks that were put up by,
Mhm.
yeah, that was a sort of a more, whatever, that was effectively a policy, which closed off a road to, for good reason, perhaps, but it was closed.
Maybe it should just be run by Donna or somebody. She seemed to have a really clear.
Just long.
What I'll do,
I know it's a small matter, but I'm just saying it would be a shame if it weren't done right.
I'll ask Tim for his advice on whether.
Yeah, he would know.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was surprising to me when I saw that happen in that meeting, and I don't like surprises, so I'm like, let's avoid a surprise if we can.
Okay,
That's
all
I'm
right.
trying to say.
Thank you, Tom. So I think that's that ends the agenda items that I have. Is there any other items that should have been on the agenda or are not? Okay, good.
Wait,
Oh,
Art
oh.
just got his hand up. You're muted.
Can I make an announcement?
Yes,
There's a beach cleanup tomorrow at the LWA beaches at 10 o'clock. So if anybody wants to come out and help clean up the beaches, come on out.
Bring your hammer.
what for?
I don't know.
All right, thank you, Art. Anything else?
I move we adjourn.
Yeah, one last comment is just participate in the June select board meeting to go over and let your friends and family know about it. To go over that watershed based plan. And at that, I think we can.
Town meetings coming,
Is it?
the annual town meeting.
Yep, annual town meeting is coming up June 3rd.
Okay,
Yeah, and on that will be the bylaw for that we came up with for limiting access to the dam. So if you're interested in that, or anyone else is, that may be the most controversial thing in the agenda, in my opinion, but who knows? You never know. But anyway, that's going to be discussed at that and voted on at that town meeting.
okay, very good. All right, with that, I think we'll call the meeting and at 9:35. And thank you all for participating. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Take care.
Let's hear it for the owl.
Woo, woo.